As
Makes
Chris was
sense.
getting handcuffed, his 19-year-old daughter, Arielle, arrived at the house. She had already been contacted by Chris, who told her what had happened. She was clearly devastated. While the officers tried to console Arielle, Chris was escorted to the back of a police cruiser. Lead
That's
Detective Mendy
traumatizing.
Freeman and
You
Sergeant
realize that
Yvette
your
Barrero
dad
of the
killed your
Forensics
mom?
Unit arrived at the residence and were
That's
immediately
so
caught up to
traumatizing
speed.
once you
According to
realize
him,
that.
she grabs a 9mm
Or attempted
in that
to,
bedroom.
allegedly, because
She did
saying
that.
that she's
He
still alive.
claims he reached for the gun to try to get it from her. And when he reached for it and they struggle over it, boom.
At that moment, Olivia's sister Angela arrived at the scene, and Arielle once again broke out into hysterics. All of the evidence was collected and sent to the crime lab. Chris was brought down to the station where they took photos of his hands still covered in blood.
They're waiting for the lead detectives. They're going to be the ones that actually interview. So
When the detectives finally arrived at the station, they started Chris's interview by asking him what caused the argument. He said that he felt as if Olivia wasn't pulling her weight in the relationship.
I am very particular. If you heard that, that's true. I am very particular. You strive for the best for people. I work really hard, and I don't make excuses for myself, and I don't accept excuses for anybody else.
After telling her that he wanted a divorce, she went to the bedroom and grabbed the gun.
what did you say?
Really? You serious? Really? This is not going to solve anything.
Okay.
You know, this is not, you do not want to do that. Put that freaking gun down before you make a mistake and hurt yourself. She was crying. She was crying.
Chris handed over his cell phone, which had access to the home security camera footage.
Say you want to access just that camera. You touch that. And that's just that camera. Okay. You follow what I'm saying?
So far, let's go back to devices.
Yes, sir. And everything is labeled.
Carport, backyard, front door, back door, laundry room, inside garage, living room, kitchen.
The police examined this footage, hoping to corroborate Chris's story. At 8:41 a.m., Olivia can be seen going about her morning routine in the kitchen. Then, all of a sudden, the footage cuts out. 3 minutes later, at 8:44 a.m., the video is back up, and Chris is captured frantically pacing around the house while on the phone with 911.
This is when you realize you can't fool nobody with that. That's clear as day. And malfunctions happen. However, the time elapsed specifically at the time that she was shot. So you cannot make no excuse as to why that camera was off at that exact moment. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Not only you traumatize your child, you gotta. She got two babies, man.
11 minutes later, at 8:55 a.m., the responding officers can be seen entering the residence. That means that Olivia must have been shot.
My fault for early because they did come at a different time. I guess they already had them en route in case y'all heard the early part of the video because it seemed like due to time elapsed. Because I feel like in most cases, like they just be so focused on asking the questions that are already trying to get to arrival. I know it's important to know the whereabouts of everything, but you be asking along the way. And it seemed like they already did. So I will take accountability for being wrong at the beginning of the video.
During this 3-minute gap in the footage. In the interrogation room, Chris was asked why this footage was missing. He claimed that he had no idea.
We're still trying to pull up these videos here. Why would there be no recordings on them?
I don't know. It should be. Everybody that went in that house should be on it. But like I said, the internet, you can go through days and it pretty much does it. We shouldn't have bought that. You just keep, like, you can pick whatever day you want and it's never going to be consistent. That's why I say it was a waste of money.
Well, I'm wanting desperately to find some video on here that corroborates what you're telling us, but almost all the videos start right after this event happened.
Chris had a bunch of excuses, from internet problems to not charging the camera properly. But at this point, the detectives were taking anything Chris said with a grain of salt. It seemed
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dope Tech
Because
from
they
Wix.
keep putting lies on top of lies. That ain't helping his case at all.
more likely that Chris, the only one with access to the footage, had tampered with it. Since they did not have the video, they had Chris reenact the moment that he tried to disarm Olivia.
Now go ahead and do my initial. She pulls it. Give me the. Okay. And I go. I'm sorry.
you're good.
No, you're good.
I want the chair.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I like the chair, man.
I'm reliving it.
You are.
I'm reliving it.
So she should be shot in the back of her right head.
Did you feel me twist your? Did you feel me twist?
Back here.
Did you feel me twist your?
Push it
I
on.
twisted.
With each question asked, it seems as if Chris was improvising
Nah,
the
he
answer,
just
actively
making
trying
up
to
as he
make the
go on.
puzzle pieces fit together, rather than telling
You
the
caught,
truth.
buddy.
The detectives ended their initial interview feeling more suspicious of Chris than ever. They then
So
moved on
many
to other
signs.
members of the family, starting with Olivia's sister, Angela.
Olivia Jones is your sister, right? We've been talking a lot lately. We talk every day. I drop her baby to her at the tax office. She's always been timid about everything. But she was the type that whatever went on in their home, she would keep it there.
Yeah. Kind of a
Private person.
yeah.
She loved her baby so much.
That's important to
She
do
knows
though,
she
but when it
wants to
comes to
live for
like
them,
toxic
you know,
situations
she
like
would
that,
never.
Angela went on to reveal the extent
should
of
be
Chris's control
exposed.
over Olivia.
you know what I'm
She
saying?
can't talk on the phone after a
But
certain
anything
time.
else should be
He
like a
controlled
matter
the
within the house.
finances. He never wanted to be in the presence of her family reunions, anything. He never came. But she would have to step off, and when he would call, and all you could hear was him screaming and yelling on the phone. His character is
Even if you don't want to
agitation.
go
Like, his
Committed.
character is to be aggressive.
to
I just don't get it.
marriage, all that.
Because all she wanted,
I hate going out.
my sister
Family
was a
functions,
married
but I still
type.
go.
All she wanted was to be loved.
Not that I don't like family, I just don't.
All she loved love.
I like to be
she
me.
loved her
Like, I ain't
babies.
around my friends.
She wanted to
Can't do
live
that
for
around
her
family.
babies.
To make matters
Well, the
worse,
case- I don't
Chris's
like being
ex-wife
anywhere for too
Letitia,
long.
who he initially met back in
I'll be over
1999,
stuff quick.
corroborated
I
his
enjoy
pattern
the
of controlling and aggressive
comfort of
behavior.
my own
I
home.
met Chris Jones
So much.
in 1999. It was just like a
Oh,
constant
cool.
fight. Like, he strangled me, choked me out, drug me through the house. My skin was missing off my back. One time he bit my hand. He had this bite marks in my hand. This was what it was. If the house not clean, he's told me that he would kill me if I was to ever leave him. Told me how he would do it. The reason I never said
Shit.
anything or went for help was because I was extremely in fear of my life. Because I knew and I felt
Nah, ladies, y'all gotta say something. You gotta say something, and it's so messed up. Cause when you relate information like this to the police, it's like they don't do nothing at the time. Period. That you're trying to explain, cause people do lie. But for those that don't, it make it difficult. Because people lie about it, and they make it difficult for the people that tell the truth. That's crazy, bro. We gotta bring awareness to this on both sides. If men are experiencing this, on both sides, a majority of the time it's women. Y'all gotta speak up. And I gotta figure out a way, get a restraining order. I don't know, man. It's tough. Cause like even if you do that, people still break out of. Man, it's gotta be a way, man. There's gotta be a way, man.
in my
Let's try
heart
and go out like
that
that.
he would kill me.
And most damning of all were the allegations made by Olivia's daughter Ariel during her interview. She explained what it was like living at the house with her mom and Chris.
One time they were arguing, and I heard her say she couldn't breathe. I would see
Is
bruises
that
on
his
her.
actual for her
It
actual fault?
broke
What's that?
her down to the point where she believed what he said. You won't be nothing without me, stuff like that.
Right.
Everybody knows my mama. Everybody knows my mama. Everybody knows that we were her world.
With each person interviewed, the allegations against Chris were stacking higher and higher. They doubled back with him, urging him to tell the truth about what actually happened to the missing footage.
This game,
Man, there's gotta be a way,
you're not
man.
ready for it.
You know, you take self-defense classes, do the best y'all can, keep a weapon on you. Don't let your significant other know if you're in a toxic situation like this.
If you say right
You gotta
now, when you
leave
just say, well,
and keep
I
that
freaked
thing
out,
on you.
I
Let
did
your
some
peoples
stuff I
know.
shouldn't have done. Is that one of them?
Report, restraining order. You gotta take it to the highest. You gotta take the stuff like this to the highest extent. You gotta take it so serious because it's probably happening so often. And you got all these kids going missing day to day, bro. It's insane, bro. It's insane. It's happening every single day, probably every hour, bro. Missing, killings. Just some Hispanic dude, 35 years old, just killed a 19-year-old girl. That's just crazy in Maryland, bro. It's everywhere though, but it happened in the DMV area. I'm not sure specifically Maryland, but DMV area. But like, for those who's watching, bro, your loved ones, kids, family members, brothers, sisters, whatever, parents, grandchildren, y'all gotta guide these kids. Y'all gotta guide these people all over in general in your family. Self-defense. Protect yourself. Self-awareness. Really self-awareness. When you know you're in the predicament where it's the potentials of not being safe, you can feel it. Like, I know it's gonna take time for them to adapt to it, but working on towards that, bro, it's like, I don't know, bro. It just keep getting worse out here, bro. Sad. People start to care and care less about remorse for their significant others, for their whereabouts.
While the
Bro,
confession was a
it's
much-needed
too
win
easy
for
to
the
crash out
detectives,
nowadays.
there was
These
still
people
no
doing
trace of
nothing.
those crucial 3 minutes of
Just
footage.
seeing females
However,
get
the
stabbed
detectives
for
did
no
their due
reason.
diligence. They spent the days combing through all available footage
She
from
was
the
minding
house
her
to see for
business, bro.
themselves what daily life was like for the Jones.
This is shit that frustrates me, bro, because it's like, I don't pay attention to the news, but the times I do see it, it's like, that's all I see. School shootings, stabs, shots, bro, like, come on, bro, this shit, yo. Everybody gotta keep that thing on. Apparently, bro, it's going to look like a war zone, bro. This crazy, bro. It hurts.
Family.
It hurts.
In these recordings, the true nature of Chris and Olivia's relationship was on full display.
Then you gonna be looking stupid. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor, Mike. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on the floor. Look on that. Why is that like that? You're not paying attention. Look up, man. You wasn't worried about the son of a bitch a minute ago. That's your mother. Look at me like that, bitch. I'm not playing with you. Lazy. You want to do some shit, not enough? Give it here. You got all the goddamn answers. You don't do a goddamn thing around this. Right. This your ass, bitch. That's clean dish. That's clean.
I didn't want to. They fell on the floor, so I didn't want to reuse them.
You look at it. You don't pay attention to what the fuck you doing. You all over the place, Olivia.
It's like I experienced this situation, bro. It's like I felt like if I had to get to that point where I had to keep telling the person the same thing, bro. You like your house a certain way. You gotta accommodate your significant other. And if you feel like you can't, and which I feel like I couldn't fathom because I'm the only one working. So it's like, bro, that's the least I expect you to do is keep the house clean. But this prime example, the way he's handling it is not the way you should be handling it, bro. But it gets to a point when it's happening so much that I had to just let go. I didn't want to let go, but I had to let go. You gotta stop condoning stuff that you don't approve of. If both are not willing to like compromise with each other, it's not gonna work out. Effective communication and the willingness to do on both sides, bro. It has to be a committed thing from both sides, bro. Y'all have to. It's a partnership. I gotta do it together. you got one person working, the other person has to be home doing what they got to do with the house and the kids. And of course, when the parent get home, they got to do what they do from work. But bro, it's gotta be. If there's no way to compromise, then y'all just gotta separate. And it's unfortunate that she knows that she should have left him, but she felt like she couldn't because of how he would have reacted if he did. It's oh man.
You ain't got the chance to find no. Food on the wall. Who you burning now? Me. Harriet don't live here. It's you. It's always been you.
Chris would take any chance that he could to bully Olivia, constantly putting her worth into question, even humiliating her in front of her own daughter.
When I got the show ass, you didn't have a job. You would collect unemployment. You just had off. And most men in this world want a woman that got what? You wouldn't be doing this if I wouldn't have got upset. You would have bagged that. Life would be so much easier for me if you start thinking. You do dumb because you don't think.
It's not acceptable to do it in front of the.
This footage
front of
shed
the
light on
child
Chris's
or
true colors and
anybody.
confirmed the allegations
But
of
it
abuse
also
from
shouldn't
Olivia's
happen at
family.
all. There should be a
Detectives
better
also
way to
looked
come.
into Chris's criminal records and discovered
There should
that he
be
had a
always a better
history
way,
of
bro.
violent
There's always
charges,
a better way.
including multiple assaults in 1996 and a domestic assault in 1998, which landed him in jail for a brief period of time. Even though they were
Wait, this nigga already been through this shit. And I promise you, she probably didn't tell. He didn't tell her, but like, come on. So it hit the news. Let me find out if it hit the news. Cause how the hell she ain't know this? I know it's kind of difficult to retrack on news and stuff like that, but it's like, damn, this nigga got a history of being a crash out. It's not his first rodeo. Just imagine how many people doing it and their experiences. It's probably not their first time doing it.
still waiting for ongoing forensic analysis results, authorities believe that they had enough evidence to place charges against Chris.
News this morning, a Beaumont man is now facing murder charges in a Valentine's Day shooting of his wife. Police say this man, Christopher Ray Jones, who worked as a correctional counselor at the Beaumont Federal Prison, killed his wife, Olivia.
Chris was charged with first-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in April of 2019. But unexpectedly, within 24 hours after being charged, he was released on a $150,000 bond and was put under house arrest with a GPS monitor.
Now a man charged with murdering his wife is back at their home.
40-year-old Christopher Ray Jones was arrested and charged with shooting his wife in the face on Valentine's Day. His bond was set at $150,000. He paid and is now out.
Many taking to social media to voice their concerns, stating things like, "Can't believe he's out on a $150,000 bond. That's crazy. What's wrong with our system?" And, "Can't believe they would make his bond so low that he got out. He should not be walking the streets."
While out on bail, Christopher was allowed to continue operating the Jones family business, a food truck called One Plate at a Time. The judge allowed Chris to work while out on bail since the food truck is directly beside his home. However, this decision was controversial amongst Olivia's family and the community. They knew Chris was the only person with Olivia at the time of her death, and they all seemed to believe that he had killed her.
This food truck on Concord Road in Beaumont is a hot topic on social media. It's not generating rave reviews from many, but condemnation from a grieving.
The fact that you even still try to run a business is insane. The fact that you try to run a business that's already marketed, apparently, it's insane. Because how you think people even gonna support you after all of that? And it's insane. Because you got proof and all the evidence that you need around to prove that you're not innocent. It's different if he was potentially innocent, but he had no chance because he showed so many red flags. How could you consider still trying to do a business after all of that? Well, then, at least that's a part of your wife's, whatever you had as a partnership. That's insane, bro. You really gotta be on some undercover off the AWOL shit. You gotta really do something else that's not dragging your attention. But this
family.
I don't see how would anyone want to support someone who murdered their wife on Valentine's Day.
You murder your wife, you murder
We are
anybody.
supposed to celebrate love And the day that she was going to celebrate that with him, he decides to take her life.
Chris's image was tainted even further when the results from the crime lab came in. The bloodstain patterns at the crime scene indicated that the gunshot wound could not have happened in the way that Chris described it. Additionally, investigators found no gunshot residue on Olivia's hands, indicating that there was no way she was holding the gun when it went off. There was, however, gunshot residue on Chris's hands
Did she
and
survive though,
clothing.
right?
Despite all of the evidence pointing towards
spoke up
Chris,
since then?
he pled
Well, she
not
ain't
guilty
survived.
to his charges. But before his trial would take place, Olivia's family held a gathering to honor her memory.
This Valentine's Day,
Praying for you.
She survived for the
purple and
moment,
red
but she didn't
balloons
survive.
filled Rogers
Oh
Park.
my
Purple means
God.
domestic violence, and red was one of her favorite colors.
I can
1
only
year ago
imagine the
today,
frustration wanting to
Joshua
crash on
Simmons
that
lost
nigga,
his
especially
sister.
after he survived. If I found out my wife, or if anybody I know, sibling, and they did that to my family, you know, in general, and I found out you got bailed out, I'm coming for you, nigga. I promise you, I'm coming for you. On my soul, I'm coming for you. I don't give a fuck what is going on. If you survive beating a death case that you caused to harm his life, bro,
It was one of her favorite
you won't
holidays.
understand.
I would give almost anything to have
Kill
her
you
back right now.
slowly.
What's this year been like for you and your family?
If you can wrap it up in one word, it would be frustrated.
Frustrated with the fact that Jones isn't behind bars. Now the family wants to raise awareness for domestic violence, but more than anything, they want justice for Olivia.
We're wanting him to spend the rest of his life in prison, while my sister spend the rest of her life in the grave.
After finally having an opportunity to celebrate Olivia's life, her loved ones would once again have to face her death during Chris's upcoming trial. The courtroom was packed with family members from both sides. It had been over 3 years since Olivia's death, and despite the clear tension between the two families, they all wanted the same thing: justice for Olivia. Prosecutors Jimmy Ham and Mike Laird described Chris as an abusive partner with a violent past, and it was only a matter of time before something like this happened. Chris's defense attorney, Ryan Gertz, argued that Chris only grabbed the gun because Olivia was recklessly handling the weapon, putting both herself and Chris in a dangerous predicament. Forensic pathologist Celestina Rossi provided critical bloodstain analysis and confirmed that Olivia did not have any gunshot residue on her, contradicting the defense's claims that her death was merely an accident. The testimonies and evidence combined ultimately overpowered the defense team, and on February 8th, 2022, Christopher Ray Jones was found guilty for the murder of his wife, Olivia Jones.
1,118 days. That's how long Olivia Jones's family says they've waited for this moment. The moment when Olivia's husband, Christopher Jones, was found guilty of murder. Olivia died at the hands of her husband on Valentine's Day 2019, and instead of spending a lifetime behind bars,
we elected to agree with the state to a 30-year sentence because of the potential risk of an even higher sentence.
In exchange, Christopher waived his right to appeal the conviction. After the judge handed down the sentence, Olivia and Christopher's 2 daughters took the stand. Looking directly at their father, they described the impact of Olivia's death. The youngest daughter, who was only 11 when her mother died, said, quote, "I'll forgive you one day, but right now I can't." Throughout the trial, the prosecution described a history of abuse that finally blew up. Defense attorney Ryan Getz argued a different version of events.
I think that we'll never know what happened in that room. Ultimately, my impression from the jurors is that they just didn't believe Chris's version of events, and that really only left the one alternative.
This was an emotional day for Olivia's family. As they were leaving the courtroom, they were encouraging each other, saying, "Today was all about Olivia, and she won."
Christopher Jones is currently serving his sentence in the John M. Wynn Unit in Huntsville, Texas.
I better tear him up. Tell him on location. Well, I appreciate y'all for watching the video, man. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what y'all want to see me react to in the next video. It's your boy Avon. I'm out. Yeah.